Greetings and welcome back to Switch2Linux. Well, today we're going to be having a look at the new release of Ubuntu 18.04.1 has been released. So we're going to have a look at this in a virtual box and see what they did with this. And we'll have a look at the notes and things like that. So let's go ahead and first jump on over to the comments, and then we'll dive into the discussion here. Carbon Programmer, greetings. Jockix, greetings. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master, how's it going there? Alan, Rocco, hello, sir. And Noah, hello. Did you say hello? Nah, I said hello. That's close enough. All right. Mr. GFY, greetings. I hope you're back. World of Linux, hello there. Running Shark. Ooh. Alright, Richard Addison, greetings. New fixes and new things. But he thinks Ubuntu sucks. I'm not a big fan of it these days. I liked it a lot better with Unity. Alright, I'm on Gen 2. Alright, Ben, very cool. Gen 2's sweet. Alright, Q1 Fiend, waiting for the kitty cam. The kitty cam has come and has gone. Got nothing to hide, but none of Ubuntu's business. But it's none of Ubuntu's business what crashes on my system or stays stable. They've got no business with my specs either. Yep, and I agree. I agree with you. Data collection is a big problem right now with these companies. Yep, Kitty.
Hello, Mr. GFY. How are you? Oh, I'm getting stretched out.
Alright. Frost Ranger, the Frozen Realm, greetings. And pizza. Watching on Bliss OS. Is it blissful? I'll have to look into it when I get a chance. Cobalt Technology, how's it going there? Okay. Did the kitty get a poison bath? Yes, the kitty did. This afternoon I haven't seen anything living on him other than the kitty himself. There's a few floating around on him, I'm sure, but all I'm doing is scraping off dead fleas. Best type of fleas are dead fleas. So I end up using Advantage is what I end up using. It's like a nicotine derivative that's specifically targeted to an insect's receptors for it, and it basically throws them into a convulsive paralytic death within a few minutes. So yep, Kitty seems to be doing a lot better today. It was funny because after I gave him a flea bath, and he had more fleas after the thing than before. I'm like, he's like totally crawling. I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah, he got sprayed down with Advantage. Problems every website I go on have to enable a request desktop site. Yep. Okay, I've quit Windows because MS was spying. Only find Ubuntu does it as well. Yep. Did some research, and WPS doesn't spy with my tests. All right. Okay. Analog, how's it going there? All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump on over what we're going to look at here. So first, we're going to start out just by having a look. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start out by pushing the update or pushing the install because that's going to take a few minutes. So we'll start the install, and then we'll jump back and we'll have a look at the release notes while it's doing its install-y type thing. So let's see. Let's go ahead and boot this guy up. So we downloaded it. So the download happens pretty quickly, although it is a slightly larger file than the 1804. The 1804.1 is 2 gig versus 1.9 gigs. Slight increase in size, but I don't think that's really anything to shake a stick at if you're used to downloaded distros. It took me, I don't know, about 5 or so minutes or so to download. All right, so here we're just going to go ahead and let's go ahead and run the installer right from this screen here. Let's go English. Okay, we can do the normal or the minimal. Let's just go ahead and do the minimal installation because we pretty much know what else it's doing. I have no option but to download the updates while installing Ubuntu. So I'm thinking, I'm not sure why that's auto check. Oh, you know why? Because it's saying it's not picking up network connection. That's why. It's not seeming to be able to find an internet connection right this second. So that's why it's not giving me the option to download. Not sure why that is. Let me go ahead and just do a quick double check on my machine. Make sure the machine is... Okay, well, the network adapter is enabled. So not sure why it's not picking up internet right now. But let's just go ahead and leave it at that. We'll just continue. And then hopefully we should get internet after it installs. All right, we're going to erase the disk. We have the option to encrypt it, which we're not going to bother doing because this is just a test machine. We'll go ahead and click OK. Pick our super secret location, and let's just call this guy Ubuntu. The password of Ubuntu. Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you my password, was I? It is a weak password, but it does let me use it, so that is good. And now that we are copying files, I'm just going to go ahead and minimize this bad boy and head on over and look at their website. All right, so web browser view. There we are. All right, so with the 18.04 update, really what we got is we got a lot of security and just basically packages updated, and so we get a lot of those. A lot of installation fixes, so there are a lot of installation things. So in the event you had any specific issues, double check if it was on the list, if it was linked to a particular bug report. And then, of course, for the upgrade, we had a few things like that. As far as the desktop, there's just a few little tweaks that they have fixed. And one of the biggest ones I wanted to point out is it had to do with Lenovo computers. So this is probably a result of having the new collection where it's able to identify if something isn't working and link those into specs it has collected. So here it happened that there was specific to Lenovo machines with dual audio codecs. There was a problem with these, and so what they did is now on the detecting of that machine, they're backporting 5 different patches to make the audio work. I'm going to guess that this was a result of the data collection that they were doing, where they were collecting certain amounts of data and information, and that's kind of what my guess is. So take that for what it is. If you're looking at it and saying, well, it's good to do that they're collecting the data and all the system specs so that they can do things like this, that certainly is an okay thing. As I've said before, my biggest concern is the slippery slope that we're now standing on, as particularly with the fact that a lot of companies are just becoming way more too aggressive about collecting way too much information. And obviously, yes, they are not storing IP addresses. Obviously, they come. Hopefully, they have their server set up so the server deletes the logs that are coming in, because that's an automatic thing generally. So I'm assuming that they do, because they specifically talk about the fact they don't keep that information. So in theory, they do not. But I still have that concern with collecting the fingerprint at all, because the fingerprint of the computer can be used to unmask you, particularly since somebody had sent me an email this morning to look into a Ubuntu bug. This is 1777415. And basically there's an Ubuntu bug where if your computer is in a suspended state and you are able to pull out the hard disk out of the machine, so I'm guessing this was probably tested with USB keys, apparently you can actually get back up into the machine without an administrative password and access anything that is in memory. And the Ubuntu team commented on it and said, well, doesn't really matter because someone would have to have physical access, and if they can take your disk, they can take that stuff anyway. But it seems to work on encrypted disks as well. So some people are saying they're not right to ignore this. So it's interesting. I'm going to see if I have the time to look into that particular bug. That's not in the update list. In fact, they even say they're not even really putting it high priority if you read through the report log. So that's kind of what my concern is there some things are just not fixed. There's some things that really are. I haven't noted any of these specific things, but the next thing I really want to focus on that we see in this is, check this one out, Ubuntu-report. There are 6 times that this is listed in the document. So the first instance is on desktop fixes, the GNOME initial setups. This is when you first run the machine the first time. It fixes a crash on shutdown in the Ubuntu report page. So I'm not sure what was up with that one. But look at what they're doing with Ubuntu report. Ubuntu report, delay reporting of system metrics when there is no network. A service then kicks in and tries to report with exponential backoff until success. Now, this is not a lot different than what your iPhone does. So if you have an iPhone, you can turn off the ability for it to send the system logs in, and then what happens is they will sit there and pile up and collect on the phone. The only way to get rid of them is to send them to like iTunes, in which case basically Apple's saying you don't have to report it, but we're going to get it eventually, because it's either going to overwhelm your phone with logs, or you're going to plug it in, sync it to iTunes. iTunes is going to take all that stuff and send it to Apple anyway and clear the logs. That's kind of what they're doing. So if you are trying to get around this by turning on and setting up the computer without a network, basically turning off the internet connection until it runs, it's still going to send the data. It's not going to stop, and it's going to keep on trying to send the data until it reports successfully sending data. That's a big problem. The next instance, of course, ensure language is the user's language reported even in OEM mode. Verifying language? I would like some clarification on what's going on there. That seems to me a little bit interesting. So does this mean they're trying to match, the language setup and other things with what you've selected? Basically prevent people from selecting a different language and then changing it after the original report? I don't know. I don't think that's what they're talking about here. But maybe it was just they were incorrectly reporting the language. I don't know what was the case there. Now they are collecting the physical screen size. An update here to now collecting the physical screen size. So remember, I'm talking about system fingerprints. Now you have the screen size. So for example, I'm running these monitors are HD monitors, so they're 1920 by 1080 screens. Now, when I load this on, they know the actual screen dimensions of the physical monitor that is sitting here in front of me. So now they're collecting more of that hardware information that I had an issue with. And the next one is incorrect rejects for GPU info. So something regarding GPU collection. And then the last one is down here under desktop fixes. So the last one under desktop fixes, they're adding more information to determine the CPU. So now they're narrowing in to try and get more information. So it's like we didn't get enough information about the CPUs the first time, and that's kind of what we need. We want to be able to do that. So I have some concerns with the fact that they are focusing so much. These weren't bug fixes. These were extra features added to Ubuntu report. Maybe some of them were fixes, but let's add the feature to keep on sending the report until it reports a success. So now that means that there's two-way information going to the server if there wasn't already. We're going to add the screen resolution. We're going to add more information to determine the CPU. So the first one there is a bug. Obviously, a crash is a bug. And I'm not sure what's up with the language one. That's kind of an unknown for me. So that's kind of my concern, is that they're starting to collect more information than they otherwise had. All right, so let's jump on back over to the distro itself. The network is now working. Let's go ahead and restart now. Go ahead and restart this bad boy beast. All right, let's see. Stephen Smith, how's it going there? Bless OS. Hard to install. And there aren't any tutorials on it yet because it's new. Luckily, I'm working on a tutorial. Very good. Very cool, man. Prune and orange all the way. Good evening, Keegan. How's it going there? The Bionic Beaver. Yep. John Walsh, how's it going there? Would be good to know what are base distros, e.g. Debian, Arch, SUSE, Gentoo, etc., and then good, bad about each, and then what might be better first derivative of the same problem each area is addressed. Okay. All right. Okay, so here is our basic login screen. Of course, you can click down here and you can select, do you want the X11 or do you want Wayland? We're going to keep it on this one because Wayland still really sucks in Ubuntu. It is slow and it is laggy, but the system actually works well when you're not doing that. All right. Okay, so here we are. Here is our screen. What's new in Ubuntu? Ubuntu works differently from older versions. So we have our switchers, we have our dock, we have our apps button on the bottom instead of the top, an application menu. Which is kind of good. They had to install a application to do that. All right, close button. All right. Helps keep your computer secure by applying some updates would normally require restarting. No, not interested. All right, so here is where that here's where that information is. Again, if you click on this is where some people are having an issue. If it says yes, send system information, it's going to send the report, and we'll show you what the report looks like to Canonical. If you say no, it still sends information. It sends the fact that you have opted out. A lot of people have a problem with that feature because if I say no, 0 should be sent. Now, of course, they're collecting that because they want to know how many installs. It gives them an install count and a percentage opt-in versus opt-out. So clicking on first report, this is what we get in the first report. So here we have the version 18.04. It is in a virtual box. Now, of course, if I were to do this on my raw machine, it wouldn't be giving us all the virtual boxy stuff. It would actually tell you all of this real information. It would give you, read out the BIOS that I actually have. It would tell you what type of CPU I have. It would tell you everything about it, including, of course, here's the name here. So it tells you all that kind of information. The RAM, the screen size, the frequency, whether I set auto login, whether I set live patch. So they want to know how many people are automatically doing essentially kind of like unattended type upgrades. The language, what was the medium? In other words, what did I download? So this is the exact, basically it's the date stamp for the particular one that I used. It's 18.04.1, so they can measure the effectiveness of the different distros. So it's not OEM, GTK, partition method is used device, download updates was set at true, although I'm not sure if it actually did do those because it was locked on, but I didn't have internet, but internet was on before the installation was complete. So I don't know if it downloaded updates or not. I have no idea. Minimal, so it tells us that, and then language console setup, prepare, the start, time zone, user setup, user done, and done. So that is what is sent. Some people say, well, I don't care about all that kind of stuff. But the reality is there's some people that can't have even this stuff seep out. Because the screen resolution, the processor core, the amount of RAM, all these types of things produce a fingerprint of your system. All right, so we're going to say no, we're not going to send it, even though it's going to send information anyway. So now we can... here we can open the software now to install different software. Let's go ahead and open that up. So we got, so here's Telegram, Spotify, Skype. I'm going to do a search for something here. Okay, so Simple Screen Recorder is showing up in the repos. One of the concerns is some products will not necessarily show up in the repos, but That's okay. Everything seems to be working there. So, all right. So let's go ahead and finish that. So that is our first start. So let's go ahead and just do a quick walk through Ubuntu. If you are new to Ubuntu, let's just go ahead and walk through it. So here we have, this is based on the GNOME desktop. So if you come over here, you can highlight over this. We have our connection here. This is our username where we can do account settings and log out. We can pull up settings over here. We can also lock the computer or shut down restart. Over here is our wireless or Bluetooth, neither of which I have installed on this particular computer, so those are showing up as null. Here's my backgrounds. So we just have some basic GNOME backgrounds and just a couple other ones dropped in here as well. We'll just go ahead and keep the beaver. All right, so we have our dock. We can change the icon size. If you like smaller icons or whatever, you want larger icons, you can do whatever kind of icons you want on this. You can auto hide the dock, which is disabled by default, and then you can position it left, bottom, or right. So you can do that setup. Notifications, you can turn on notifications. In general, you can turn them on, turn them off on the lock screen, both of which are enabled. And then we have the archive manager, banner designs, files, network, and Ubuntu software. So all of these applications, any application you install on the system that has the capability of doing notifications will appear in this. So you can turn them on or off by default. Here you can do, anytime your search function is running, you can actually set your search to what you want to do. So if when you're using the basic search function of the system, you want to search in the software as well, you can keep that on. If you only want to search in your files, you want to turn everything off so only your files will be searchable. Region language, of course, we can adjust those. Universal access. Online accounts. This is a good thing about, one of the better things about the GNOME, or I've heard there's a package that allows you to do this on KDE as well, where you can attach your various internet accounts on it. So I have Nextcloud account, for example. So I have, not on this computer, but on some of my other ones, I have Nextcloud automatically attached. So I can, basically, it'll sync my calendars and things like that. I don't really use the calendars. Mostly what I'm interested in, that it will sync my files. So I can basically, it gives me a link to my folders in the window manager, or not window manager, file manager. All right, so privacy, screen lock is turned on, location services is turned off, so it's not tracking location by default. Usage and history is on, purge files off. Problem reporting, that is actually set to manual. That's actually, I thought that was set to automatic these days, but okay, so problem reporting, I can turn that to never. So maybe they made a reversion and changed that. I don't know. So what this is going to do, if I remember correctly, is this is going to, basically what this does is it pings a little, just a little data point to Ubuntu to verify if the internet is on. So if you're a particularly privacy-focused person, you're going to want to turn that off. I don't find that necessarily a huge deal, but it's nothing that I would use personally. Here's your sound, power settings, networks. If you do want to set up a VPN, you can go ahead and click on this button here. So for example, most of the VPNs, like the ones that I have links to, will give you a they'll give you a file you can use for OpenVPN, so you can use that inside there. Maybe I'll do a video about how to do those. Here's your displays, keyboards, printers here, movable media, Thunderbolt support. I think this is fairly new. Your tablets and things like that. All right, so that is your system settings. Here's your application menu, which you have a basically you just have this type of menu here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you might actually be able to change that. If you can't change it specifically on this system here, you can install the GNOME Tweak tool, and you should be able to make those adjustments as well. I just can't remember. Basically, you can get a different application menu, but this is the default. So, of course, this is the minimal install. The minimal install doesn't have anything other than the basic system and your just your basic utilities. So, minimal install is great, particularly if you want to use a different suite of applications. Come on. It's the system monitor. It's not... I'm not sure why it's taking so long to load the system monitor. Okay, apparently system monitor crashed. System monitor? Please? Pretty please? There it goes. Alright. So right now we're using 1.3 gigabytes of RAM. So it is actually a little bit lighter than several other GNOME builds, but it's not bad. Of course, we looked at the software already. That is Ubuntu. So in theory, what this one's going to give us is more up-to-date packages, more stability on a few things, fixing some bug problems, bug reports. My biggest beef, of course, with it is the fact that they seem to focus on adding new features to Ubuntu-report, and that is a little bit concerning to me, particularly since I've always kind of said, you know, this is a slippery slope where they start getting more. What if we don't get more information? Remember when I said that in the other videos? What if we don't get enough information, and so they start changing it so they're collecting more and more and more data? Well, they've just added more data to narrow in the CPU. They've added more data to narrow in your screen resolutions and size. And they've made it so it's now even harder to not send that data. And of course, it keeps on, even if you try and get around it by turning off your network, it's still going to wait for that active network connection and send that data to Ubuntu regardless. So they need to stop doing that. Yeah, we looked at some issues. You know, the Lenovo computers was probably easily fixed because of the error reporting and that type of data collection, but still it should be my ability to opt into all that kind of stuff. And if I say no, then it should send nothing at all. That's kind of my take on that. So what do you guys think? The Cosmic Cuttlefish. That is right. The next Ubuntu is the Cosmic Cuttlefish, which might actually be better than Bionic Beaver. Although I'd like to see a Bionic Beaver battle a Cosmic Cuttlefish. I think that'd be awesome. Okay, heard it's easier to install Unity over the new Ubuntu Mate instead of regular Ubuntu because Mate already has Light DM, and I tried it. It's awesome. I think I might keep Unity for a while. Yeah, there you go. Always like Beefy Miracle as a name on Linux 3.11, Linux for Workgroups. Notice tech companies are more about collecting data than actually creating products and selling them. That is very correct. Because in the reality is that once you've collected data, that data can be kept around for a long time without actually taking the data, and then you can basically regenerate more and more and more sales after having that, particularly since they don't sell the lists, they rent access to these lists. And that's kind of what's going on. And so that's true. I mean, companies are more about data collection than they are about producing products anymore, which is very silly. Your Ubuntu is not opening. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay, choked down my dinner, coughed up a hairball, and now I'm here. Greetings, Daniel. Greetings. How's it going there? Grief is grief, I guess, is the fact that there are so many pieces of software in the repositories that it's essentially backdoors into a system. Google Drive, anyone? Yeah. Can they get the spyware perfect already? No, apparently they can't get the spyware perfect yet. They missed a few things. How did we miss the screen resolution? And we need more information on those CPUs. Not found a social media platform that makes money off user subscriptions. Wait. It seems like they would rather make money off selling data. Yep. Now they want another user's language. That's right. Kyrie Holmes, greetings. How are you? Which means 2 microcodes today on Xenial. I guess collecting data is more profitable than selling products. It is. It is. Collect that data and you can rent that out to a lot of different companies for residual income. It's the same way as Adobe sitting there like, hey, it's a subscription now. You want to access Photoshop? Just got to pay us by the month. Or, a bigger sum by the year. I don't know. It's... Okay, in the future, Canonical will know all about your files and websites like Windows. Isn't it beautiful? They haven't gone that direction yet, but that's what I'm afraid of, you know? I have a personal favorite Linux distro for web development. I use Linux Mint Cinnamon. Works beautifully for me. So we're working on a tutorial how to dual boot Bliss OS with any distro that uses Ubiquity. Okay. Stone Age Ubiquity, you know. Yabba dabba doo! Okay. They want to track installs. They should track how many times the ISO is downloaded. Yeah, the problem with that, though, is that the reason they can't use that reliably is, you know, there's torrents, there's redistribution, there's other things like that. But you're right. I think they should come up with some other way, or just not worry about it, you know? All right. We've been the product for some time now. They're just figuring it out. Yep, that's the thing. They're just figuring it out. Okay. Won't Microsoft buy Canonical already? It would not surprise me if they're in discussions. Downloading it does not mean it gets installed. Yep. Deepin did remove their tracker. For anybody concerned about the tracker in Deepin, it was a connection to a Chinese data analytics company, not unlike Google Analytics. But Deepin did indeed remove the tracker, according to QuidSub, I think, reported on that. They're realizing it back in 98 SE with the NASKey.exe. How do you download WaterFox on Linux? Noah, I have a specific video on that. Let me find it because it's actually a little bit of a... it is a little bit... It's not as easy as just pushing an installation button. There's a couple steps you need to go through. Okay. Copy link location. All right, Noah, the link is going in there now. That is how to get WaterFox on Linux. Okay, don't mind Ubuntu taking basic stats as long as they don't do any more than that. The OS is totally free to download. Can't complain. Yep. And I'm okay with that as long as they give you the option. If I say it should be opt-in, and if I say no, it should send nothing to them. That's what it should be. Ubuntu wants to take my PC hardware info. I'm cool without that. Okay, Mark, so doesn't mind either. And this is a split issue. I mean, just realize there are people that cannot have that information leaked no matter what. And that's the thing that they have completely forgotten about. Abandoned. Is that the same video? Okay. Abandoned building with a working server room. Wow. Wonder how long it took Canonical to make GNOME 3 look like Unity. Greetings, Lamer Linux. I'm not sure when you jumped on. I think 18.04 looks pretty good. GNOME Shell is far worse than Unity. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan. Notice I put Ubuntu back on my spare USB drive. Yes, this was I installed the minimal Ubuntu. Tweak tool, why would you use such nonsense? I know, it's kind of like I'd like to change something on the computer. I know that's horrible. I'm going to hell for that, but you know. Now, on to birth certificates. If someone you actually knew how tainted the system really is, yes, you are the product. Yep. Gentlemen, we have the technology to make it better than it was before, stronger, faster. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic beaver. And we need a bionic beaver in this world. I want to see somebody come up with a bionic beaver, just a little remote control bionic beaver, and it comes with a USB drive live key for bionic beaver Ubuntu. I mean, someone's missed an opportunity here. Finally got to a live event. All right, Scott, greetings. Welcome. Simon the Watch Guy. Tweak tool is extremely useful. Yep. Something that bothers me on GNOME. Some apps take a long time to open. Where's the Amazon app? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember seeing it. Anybody else remember seeing it? I don't remember seeing it. Maybe they got rid of it on that. This version was released yesterday. 18.04.1 was released yesterday. I think they don't add it on the minimal install. Okay. Microboonsoft. There you go. Okay, you should make a video showing people about the no privacy on Windows 10. Some people just think you have privacy on this. I'll use this opportunity, by the way. Allegedly, I'm still waiting to get confirmations and times. Tomorrow, sometime before the news, TechLore and I are going to come on and do a joint how do you switch to Linux. Kind of follow up if you didn't take a look at TechLore's video on how he de-Googlified his life. He just released the video. I think it was yesterday, it looks like. So here's a link to TechLore's video. Deleted Google, and you can too. Kind of on this same trend, how do we make the move over to Linux with me and TechLore. So don't have a time for that yet. Just go ahead and double check that. Double check the channel, and I'll post the information for it as soon as I know. But take a look at TechLore's stuff, and he and I are scheduled to do a joint video tomorrow. All right. Ubuntu. Yeah, there you go. Or Ubuntu. Think about going to Ubuntu from Mate. All right, cool. Let us know how it goes. Ubuntu-sphere. Even Deepin give up taking data. Snagged a copy of Parent Security OS and had Firefox Quantum on it. Go figure. Yeah. Well, it's better than Chrome. Not worried about what data they want. Use VPN and regular backups. No worries. Whoever said they like Unity, check out this distro. All right. Yeah, is there a new distro? Let me look at that link. Copy link address. I heard there was another distro that was based on it. I just don't remember. Is it Olu? Is what it's called? Olu? So yeah, it's let's see. Olu is built on 1804 base in the Unity desktop environment, which some loved and some hated. DE is still available in the universe. Oh, it's pronounced Ulu? Alu? Okay, they give us a pronunciation. I don't know how to pronounce the pronunciation either. So, pretty flower that peeks out of water. Unity might keep on just living. LibreOffice is not installed. There are online office suites. Firefox is there. You can easily install any other web browser. The default apps are not exactly default. You can uninstall them and install the apps you want. Yeah, I think I'm going to look into that one. That sounds like a fun distro to look into. I'm going to add that to my distro list. Thanks for that pizza. Pizza. Google had a Google Premium where you wouldn't be tracked at all. Yeah, but it would cost $1 million a year because the data collection is just too valuable. Have removed all the ISOs. Oh, really? There's nothing there now? Really? Yeah, it has no files. There's one post in the forum. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. Thanks, Ghost. Sudo apt install Unity works if you really like it. Okay. Don't have any issue giving them hardware stats. Okay, comes with YouTube Red and Google Play Music. Okay, your $20 a month Google. Yeah, see, it's just not profitable enough. Wish that other distros don't copy Ubuntu's telemetry. Most of them are not. Like Mate is. Kubuntu is clearly not. Linux Mint certainly does not. Canonical is killing their business by doing data collection. Yep. Pretty much. Arch with Unity is good. All right. Piece of cake getting MX on MX17 getting WaterFox. Oh, cool. Is it Ghost? Is it in the repository? Do you recommend WaterFox and Pale Moon browsers? I recommend WaterFox. I simply have not used Pale Moon, but in theory, it's probably good. Okay, so I guess MX17 has WaterFox in the repo. That's cool. Thank you. WaterFox should be in the repos. Yeah. Creating boot USB of Ubuntu now. All right. No means no. Yep. That's what I agree. Data collection is much worse because they maybe sell the data to the Chinese government. Yeah, and greetings. I've not seen you for a while. Remember, I call you Enigma because I don't know how to pronounce that. But yes, haven't seen you for a while. Greetings and welcome back. Yeah, they actually took the data collection out of Deepin last week. Windows 10 is one of the worst end-user agreements I've ever read. Ubuntu is starting to go in that direction. Yep. Hillary Clinton uses Ubuntu. I thought Hillary Clinton uses Ubuntu Satanic Edition. No. Demonetized. Okay. I don't mind Ubuntu knowing where my hardware helps to make Ubuntu better. Alright. Antic Designs. See, as long as it's a choice, I'm okay with it. I think the minimal install doesn't have the Amazon link. That seems to be what people are saying. Okay. Is there a way to remove the Amazon app completely from Ubuntu? I thought so. I don't know, though. Starting a young Linux users podcast in around a month. Very cool, Pizza. That's awesome. That is a good niche, and I think you're the right person for it. So that sounds awesome. Linux community owes a debt of gratitude to Canonical and Ubuntu as it popularized GNU Linux, but a lot of those that introduced Linux have now jumped ship to something more productive. Yep. Fortunately, Android is not much better than Windows 10. Google collects everything from apps to the OS. Yep. Want to see the documentation? They were referencing MS in the raw model. How do you switch Linux? You dump Windows. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not that easy for everybody, you know. Alright, yes. Like the video if you like the video. Smash that dislike button if you didn't like the video. I'm alright with that. Okay. Oh, greetings, Alex. How are you? Bummer. Yeah, probably if you came in 38 minutes, I was probably done with most of the stuff, so. Alright. Oh, there isn't an ISO yet. Okay. So on the news, someone untied the U.S. Education Secretary's yacht and caused it damage. I don't feel bad because if she can afford $40 million yacht, no, it stays on Lake Huron. Well, that's because, Keegan, if you were not aware, it's either like the daughter, I think it's either the daughter or the wife. It's one of the Amway founders' very, very close relative. So yeah, she can afford multiple $40 million yachts. And yeah, everybody shed a tear for Amway's founding family's damaged yacht. Everyone shed a tear. Eric Fleming, greetings. Proud and happy Manjaro user for 2 months now. You've inspired me to switch. Very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, Manjaro is very nice. I like it. Alright, waiting for Ubuntu LXQT edition. Greetings, Sad Error. How's it going there? Made a DRM-free YouTube video player. That's awesome. Very cool. For my ISO to burn so I can record a video. Alright. YouTube DL to give you a video. The video is DRM free. Use your web browser HTML5 player to let you download the video. Very good. Awesome. Shoot me a link to it when it's done. It's all server side. You have the choice of playing with HTML5 player. Just download the video by right-clicking. Oh boy, I was gonna make a comment, but I'm gonna refrain. How's Tom? I'm on Gen 2 now. Followed Gen 2 wiki and took 5 hours to install. Wow. Waterfox in the Arch user repository. Very good. Downloading 18.04.1 now. Yeah. Team is stopping development, but other people will help support it. Noma's growing on me. Never thought I'd say those words. Oh, come back from the dark side. There is still good in you. I sense it. Trump uses Ubuntu Ultimate Edition. Say Brave browser should be in the repositories. I think it is in the Ubuntu repositories. Did it appear because the live stream is always after midnight here? Yeah, I'm starting to do a couple early ones. So I'm doing this one, and the other one is 12 o'clock Eastern time, which is like 6 hours earlier than this one. Is when my Saturday streams are now. And also, for anybody interested, I'll be doing a live stream on my Christian channel tonight at 9 Eastern, which is just about 2 hours from now. The channel is called Our Walk in Christ. And I'll go ahead and put a link in it down here. That should be it. I forgot to double check if that's the right one, but I'm pretty sure it is. No, that was the main website. My apologies. I'll just find it over here. Ignore that one I just dropped in. Let me actually just delete it. Yeah, remove that. Copy link location. Here it is. So I'll be streaming on that channel in about 2 hours tonight. Why can't people just use Linux Mint or main OS if they don't like Ubuntu? Yeah, there's so many choices too. I mean, that's you know, I don't know. I don't know. Debian's nice too. If you don't like Ubuntu, Debian's nice. Get the youth into Linux and valuing privacy. Yep, Ubuntu 18.04 does not run on my hardware without downgrading the kernel. Huh. Because some people have an irrational hatred towards Mint. Yeah, how dare you build a Linux system that you can install on your computer, not tinker with it, and it just works consistently, repeatedly, even through updates. So evil. How could a company possibly come up with such a horrible distro that works? Tom has a thing against Brave. Yes, I do. I think Brave is very disingenuous. They're not about a privacy-focused browser. They are a system that is about creating an advertising upsetting network. That's what their goal is. They're not a privacy browser. They're an ad. They're trying to upset the ad industry. And I think that they're being disingenuous by not being clear about that. But they're just jumping on to the fact that a lot of people are focused on privacy now, using that for their adoption, and then coming in with the advertiser stuff later. When non-computer savvy move to Linux, find a way for them to play their games, and you're pretty much done. Yep. Do you have any tips on being the most productive using Cinnamon? Are there any things that are not apparent to the new user of Cinnamon? Not really. The reason I like Cinnamon is because of the layout. So the layout of the desktop, of course, this is just one of my monitors. I'm running a dual monitor system. But the layout of the system is set up very much like Windows. I have my basic menu here, start menu, that works just fine with my meta key. I have effectively quick launch bar, not pinning things to the taskbar. There is a difference between the way those two things work. This works exactly the way I want it to work. Each time I click it, I get a separate instance. There's times in development I need to have 4 or 5 separate instances of a web browser, and I don't want to do all sorts of other weird, goofy stuff to get them going on, when I can just click the thing one time with a simple left click. I can very quickly go to the bottom right go ahead and click on this guy. It minimizes all windows because I work off the desktop. I keep active projects on a desktop like we should, and then moving them into the interior folders when I need to or when there's a reason to. So overall, I mean, it just works exactly the way that I'm more productive. Now, if you're more productive in a different environment, you probably want to use a different system, but that's just kind of the case there. So I don't really know of anything specific. It's just that I know that the way I work, Cinnamon is perfect. Did that scam way back in the early 90s. My wife got into that. Yep. See, all the devices we carry nowadays have cameras. Yep. Kaspersky does have a Linux distro, but mainly a bootable AV. That's cool. Remember when phones never had cameras? I do. Remember when phones didn't have cellular service? I do. Trying to be funny. I personally won't use Kaspersky anything. Easy way to download a video using 4K downloader. It's in the Mint repositories. Pass the ID of the video and you can search the feature. Very cool. A snap from what I've read, but it is Ubuntu. May Solus delivers from Ubuntu already. Having very slow boot times on fresh installed Ubuntu 18.04 after 18.04.1 or .1 was no help. Boot time is from 2 to 3 minutes. Wow, that's a while. Sad error, you were a mod. How long it takes to fill out 250 gigabytes of HD installing just Flatpaks. Just what you know. Switch know. It's funny. I ran Linux Mint 19. Very good. Debian works. Yep. Just OBS doesn't support DX11 on Linux. I can't record live stream. Huh. That sucks. I use Google Chrome on my computer and Firefox Focus on Android. Yep. I like Firefox Focus for Android privacy. My trucker, what do I know? A lot. Okay, looks like I can close the app down and have it clear everything. Yes. That is a good thing. That's Firefox Focus. Yep. Let's have a fix for OBS. Not working and lagging without even recording live streaming on Linux Mint 17. Do I have a fix for OBS not working and lagging without even recording / live streaming? Well, the thing with OBS is you have to get it set up right. It can take a long time to get everything set up right. So the last time, like, a couple of people were reporting my video was out of sync. Well, my video and audio were out of sync by about 250 milliseconds. Took me a good hour to get the settings reconfigured just to get those lined up again. And I'm not sure what the issue is. I don't know if it's latency in my mic or whatever it was. But after I got that worked out and fixed out, you got to work on your settings. Usually it's your bit rate's either too high, too low. You're using a wrong container. So there's a lot of setup that you have to do with OBS. So not sure exactly where you're running into the issue, but that's where you're looking at. Firefox Edge sucks. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it personally. Cameras reduce crime rate by 90%. They reduce privacy by 100%. I don't know why it lags when I open, so yeah. Yeah, it's just got a matter of having to look through what we're doing. So, while newer distros coming out, should one move to UEFI boot or keep BIOS with Ubuntu? Really, it depends on what you're using your computer for. So, like, I generally only use BIOS where I have the choice, because UEFI can do goofy things. If you're trying to install multiple different distros, I mean, it's possible, but it's a royal pain. And if you have one computer and you have one distro and that's the case and it supports it particularly, turn on UEFI, turn on Secure Boot, and that way nothing's going to goof with your system as long as it supports it. So like Ubuntu does support it. Mint might. I can't remember if Mint does fully, but Ubuntu does. And so you can basically lock everything down. I don't do that because I'm always doing different distros, whatever else. So doesn't even have to record, just stream. Try starting with just a simple streaming stuff. Okay, there's a screenshot of that. All right, I'm gonna remove you from mod now. The link's down there. Okay, I've been to your town. Sweet. Well, welcome. Let me know when you're in the town again. We'll grab a cup of coffee. Remember when we did not have companies collecting so much data? Yes, I do. And Tom, I have my own VPS server now. Cool. Very good. Very cool. Yeah, VPSs are just so fun. I think tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, maybe I'll do it late tonight. Either late tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on when I am. I'm going to release the video for how to create your own URL shortener. So you might like that set error. Just throw an extra domain name into your VPS and you can install your own link shortener. Pretty fun. I'll put up the video tomorrow. Greetings, Gail. How's it going there? Remember you said to read a tour of a calculus before taking calculus. I'm entering pre-calc after the summer. Very good. Yes. Get a copy of that book. David Berlinski. It's called A Tour of the Calculus. Nothing will help you pass calculus more than that book because it gives you a fundamental understanding for why do we do this crap. But it's awesome. Neon also boots with secure boot enabled. Okay. Very good. OBS has a great deal of YouTube videos. I've learned enough to be dangerous. Yeah. OBS works on Windows, just not on Linux. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a hardware issue. First time watching the stream with subtitles. Feels so weird and funny too. Really? There's subtitles? Oh, Lord. Does that mean that Google is like tracking my words as I say them? Because I'm not putting in subtitles. That's scary. I'm positively frightened. Positively. I don't know. Interesting. All right. Is it accurate? Is it keeping up? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Subtitle this. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Okay. I remember you said another book for learning about the culture. Oh, that is called Dancing in the Dark. And that is... Let me find you a link for that one because that one is... there's a couple different books of that title and make sure you get the right one. Books. I remember when Amazon only sold books. All right. Link is incoming for Dancing in the Dark. That is a book about youth culture. Carbon, you'd really like that. Your opinions on the Nintendo Switch. I really have no opinions on the Nintendo Switch. Keeps up with what you're saying. Turned it on. Oh, Lord. Blah, 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 closed caption this. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, boy. That's scary. That's positively scary. Okay. It's beta, though. Wow. Good idea for URL shortener. For now, the closest thing I have is my file uploader I made in PHP. The image I made actually sent to my server via curl. I wrote the script to get a file. Subtitles are working and it's accurate, but it depends on the situation. So if I start talking like the Micro Machine Man, does it keep up with it like this way? I mean, I can talk really, really fast if you guys want me to. I mean, I can read really fast too. So, I mean, is it keeping up with the subtitles like this? I mean, let me know. Now I'm going to mess with Google's subtitle system. Because that sounds fun. Can also record with a simple screen recorder, but I want to do live streams on Linux. Make a URL shortener using PHP redirect. Well, yeah, but there's actually an application for it. So you don't have to build it yourself. Just install it and configure it. When Amazon was just a river going through the rainforest, yeah. I remember when Amazon.com still would have only cost you like $15 to buy. When Netflix only mailed DVDs. Words being tracked by a broken experimental learning machine. Oh, joy. That's all we need. By the way, Microsoft is introducing machine learning into Windows so it can learn the best time to update your computer based on the time you're going to be using it. Like, do people literally just leave your computers on 24/7 anymore? I mean, they told us to at the one college I worked at because the server IT would remotely update stuff at night, you know, late at night. But, I mean, it's a little wasteful to have a computer and just leave it on. No, it's also not the best thing for the computer. Give it some downtime, you know. But yeah, I don't like the fact that Google is using machine learning to track everything I say. But what do I say? You know, what can I do? People talk about using VPNs to stop data collection, but in reality, there was a way for these companies to bypass VPNs. Well, bypassing the VPN, probably not. But now you have to rely on or ask yourself the question: is the VPN company going to be reliable? Because the VPN company can now see everything that you're doing. Really, installing a VPN is only one of the things you want to do with privacy. I think I talked a little bit about some of those other things as well in another video. Upload probably the most controversial video you've ever uploaded. Oh boy. Everyone, let's all go report. No, okay, don't do that. Everyone, Tom, Google, closed caption is recording your, well, okay, maybe if they're recording everything I'm saying now, maybe they'll stop demonetizing my videos for no reason. There's a thought. I mean, unless I drop some F-bomb or something, but even then, you know. Gave up on that gibberish. Maybe a machine, but it's not a fool. Yes, it was actually keeping up with the fast talking. That's very good. That live crippled my account. Oh, boy. Greetings, Skybearer. How's it going there? Remember the Scat Man? That just doesn't sound good, man. The Scat Man just doesn't sound good. Sounds like a dude running around poops all over the place. Scat Man! Ooh. It takes everything you say even fast. Oh boy. Well, it's not much of a streamer recorder. Simple screen recorder, you also stream. And social media did not exist. I did. My first OS was Windows 3.1. Yep. I had one that predated 3.1. I think I had the one that ran DOS 4. Algorithms have the bias of the programmer. Yes, they do. Always think these companies have tricks to bypass attempts to block them. Use Windows 10 for college. The only time I'll use Windows 10 for college is if I have to. Yep. Rather build it myself. Should probably take 2 minutes. Okay, sign up to test the advanced Microsoft features. They're going to have Microsoft employee live with me and watch everything I do and report to Microsoft. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. I mean, it sounds like a great business model because you can also tie on those it's not like escort services, like you can buy a date, you know? I mean, one of those types of things. Get your Microsoft guy and everything. I remember the dumb terminals hooking up to mainframes via 300 baud acoustic couplers. Yeah, you got us beat, Brian. Got us beat. Okay, VPN is a bad idea. It's fashionable. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad idea. It's just, it's not as needed as a lot of people are pushing it. How's the cat's fleas? Cat's fleas are doing better. See if I can find a live one. Haven't seen any live ones for a couple hours on them. probably one or two out there somewhere, but yeah, for the most part, he's pretty clean. He's gonna need some more brush downs, but right? Can I see by your ears? See by your ears? Yeah, I don't see any on him right now, so that's good. Yeah, I used Advantage on him is what I ended up doing. He got Advantaged down, and he hated it. He wasn't as bad as the other one. The other one peed all over the floor when I put it on him. I moved him over into the bathroom where there's hardwood floors and stuff to easily clean it up because she's a scaredy cat. Sprayed her down, and she just turned into a hose. Oh, Lord. But they seem to be pretty flea-free right now, so that's good. All right. Subtitles understood Tom saying accept only males. What? You found tons more. Yep. You ever heard of the song The Streak? I have not. There are some people who say that having a computer on all the time will increase longevity of the system, less stress on the components, less change in temperature. I mean, it was certainly the case many years ago, but nowadays it really doesn't matter quite as much. But actually makes YouTube lose money. Well, and they should stop demonetizing my family-friendly show. Mostly college, and I love using private internet access. Yes, private internet access is good. Actually, I have a, if you're interested, here's a affiliate link to private internet access. Using that link, I think, what's the price on it? I'm forgetting now. I need to go look it up again, but pretty good deal for 2 years of private internet access usage. Remember when my word processor was WordPerfect? Yep. Hate the fact there's no social media powerful enough to beat YouTube. Greetings, Anonymous. You're back. I have MS-DOS 5 on 3 floppies. Nice. Kids don't remember 300 baud. No. Oh, okay. All right. Getting sick with YouTube as well. What's your thoughts about Google selling those multi-factor authentication keys? Guess they've had their employees using them. Is that the YubiKeys? I'm not sure what you're talking about. One of the things, though, I did see that they started to do. Actually, I saw this, I think, on one client recently, but it's becoming, they're tightening down their Google Maps stuff. Since now Google Maps is pretty much the pure dominant, and then webmasters and stuff, they switched it, I think it was 2 years ago, that if you had a Google map on your website, you had to link it to an API to get anything more than simply pasting an iframe of the map into the page. Well, now you cannot even turn on an API without storing a credit card number on file with Google. Think about that. They've been pushing people towards Google Maps, locking them into the functionality of Google Maps, and now to use the features everyone is used to using, all of a sudden, out of the blue, they stop working until you give them a credit card number. That's evil. Google, that goes against your initial idea of don't be evil. But this doesn't matter about it. It's like, don't lose money. That's their new mantra. So I don't know about the multi-factor authentication keys, but their API stuff is getting shady. I remember talking to my neighbors about the Romans, comparing them to our society. Yeah. Remind me of the time I was in the Army. Sergeant directly above me was fixing his riding lawnmower on Saturday, and 2 Jehovah's Witnesses showed up, and he had them hold up the front of the mower. Nice. You can tell me about your God all day long. Just hold this mower for me while you do it. All right. Poor kitties. One Angora had always got fleas from his mama. Uh-oh. Won't nicotine be harmful to the cat? The specific version, so I think you're talking about the reference that Advantage is a pesticide that is a nicotine derivative, but it has not been shown to be harmful to cats. It's very harmful and specific to insects. The biggest downside advantage is it seems to be very harmful to honeybees. So that certainly is a problem. But fleas have pretty much adopted immunity to about everything else that's out there. And so to get rid of them, it's becoming a hard task. So I think this is going to get them well controlled. So that's that. So regular nicotine, yes, might harm the cats. This stuff, it's. I mean, they don't want to drink it. You don't want to spray it in their mouth and stuff, but it's not going to hurt them in the long run. Google hates Christians. That's why almost all Christian channels get demonetized. That's why I'm just not even planning on my Christian channel getting monetized at all. Speaking of that, I will be streaming on my Christian channel in just under 2 hours, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And you can find it over at... in fact, let me just go ahead and drop the exact video link in there. I have it. Copy link location. There is... We're going to be talking about Ephesians chapter 2. On my Christian channel. Video's going to get 1,000 dislikes. All right, everyone, go dislike Pizza's video. All right. Debunked a lot of points. SwitchedtoLinux does what Win don't series. Oh. All right. Greetings, Anarita. How are you? Backupping up here. Hey, but needs to be done. What? Backing up, I guess? I don't know. Greetings. Maybe late for this question, but I need to know, do you think Ubuntu might have a community flavor which somehow fixes a couple of their current privacy holes? Kubuntu does. Kubuntu does not have any of the data collection. To be honest, Google Maps thing is smart. It's very smart and very evil. Because now people that run... Here's the thing, okay? And this is why we have a major problem with how the big companies and corporations and all the other kind of fun stuff have an issue, is that we have no disconnect between small businesses and corporation. Our country is becoming so anti-small business, okay? Because I'm a small business person, all right? I cannot just nebulously throw a credit card on file with every big corporation I ever want to do business with. Because if something goes viral or whatever else and I don't know it, all of a sudden I get a credit card ding for $5,000. It's unreasonable. It's one thing to have a big corporation doing all this kind of stuff, but as a small business owner who, you get a little bit of traffic on your website, you just cannot be handing out your credit card all willy-nilly to Google and every other service that wants it. So it's basically left with the idea, all right, I'll just have to remove the maps from the thing and give people a worse experience. So the small business owners are going to lose out a whole lot more. The big corporations are going to be the only one that to be able to afford such a thing. And the small business guys get run completely out of town and big business gobbles them all up. And then we get big cases where big fat cat CEOs contain all of the money and all the people at the bottom are just scraping by on food stamps because they can't afford any better. And that's kind of part of the challenge. All right. 10 dislikes or 1,000 dislikes? I don't know. Companies give almost free unhealthy food to people as a distraction. The Romans gave free bread to the people. Yeah. Sodas. I mean, sodas cost a penny to sell. So much markup in the soda industry. Better back up now before the thunderstorms and cry later. What happens if one does not have a credit card or one does not wish to use it? Yeah, that's a good question. Here's a fun one. Down here in the grand old US of A, to create an online account with the IRS, you need to have either a mortgage or a car loan or a credit card. Well, IRS, what if I'm intelligent and I have none of the above? Greetings, Spin Viking. How's it going there? Just booted up Peppermint. Very good. Peppermint's awesome. Have I ever scam baited? Opportunistically. Yes, actually I have, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos on my channel where I'm messing with them. Spying started with credit cards. Yep. The love of money. One problem, you can't eat it, or maybe some can. I don't know. Google's new security key is called Titan. Huh, I don't know. Oh, thanks, pizza. All right. Fleas are nice with rice or beans. I'll think about that. I mean, I pulled a good 30 off of them yesterday. Right, buddy? Yeah, you got 30 fleas manually extracted from you yesterday. Medical forceps. These guys are used to hold open arteries during surgery. Then they clamp shut, you know, do that, clamp them shut. And these are awesome for getting fleas off of cats. Right? Right? Yeah, right? Installing Linux Mint. Very good. Very awesome. Ubuntu doesn't have any data collection. It's a, but it's a canonical product, yeah. My wife is on her shorts and it's hot. Wow. It's gone midnight in Blighty, so bedtime for me. Please consider doing a video on the top 5 ARM distros. Ooh, that's a neat idea, Clive. I like that idea. Can I include Windows 10? Oh, of course, I did say best, didn't I? Oh, boy. Do you have prepaid cards there, like burner phone? You do. They're expensive, but you do. I mean, they're not bad. I mean, that's probably what I would do. Don't like cinema, but give me a try. Kitty, my kitty just come out under the bed.
Hey, hi, digital girlfriend. Where are you? How are you doing? Get out of that bed.
Alright. Alright. Just do it, pizza. Create a Windows VM and let tech support scammer connect and track. I mean, you gotta be really careful, though. That's the thing. You gotta be really careful. Know what you're doing on it. Encrypting my data, use VeraCrypt, and it's a good option to encrypt all your data inside a file container. Romans practiced immorality. Modern American culture embraces it. Yep. Greetings, Robert Fitzpatrick. I'm almost as good as chicken fleed rice. Lice. Nice. Chicken fleed lice. How's that? Alright. The violent city called Toronto. Yep. Does the Tom on Fire screen still exist? You'll have to find out someday. Income tax is actually illegal. Yeah, just don't tell the IRS that. They'll steal all your stuff. Ubuntu-report, popularity contest, whoopsie, app port collects data. Yeah. So, wall fart destroy the town square in my grandparents' town before the supercenter. Wow. And then after everything closed down, then they decided all leave because it wasn't profitable enough. First laptop, an Acer Aspire. Thinking Peppermint 7 or Antix. It's now running Windows 10. Yeah, definitely get Windows 10 off of there. Should create a Windows VM for scam baiting. Let tech support scammer connect and track their IP. Yeah. Or how my neighbor said the Romans are not as great as the people say. Yep. 5 ARM distros. Android, Raspberry, Android, and Android. I don't know. I don't think Android's all that great. Said cursive writing should be taught. Now, I said cursive writing is no longer taught. It probably should be. I mean, if we ever want to actually read the original Declaration of Independence, you better learn how to read cursive. And call my credit card company and let them know it's me and I want to spend $5,000. Eating vanilla ice cream sandwich. Ooh, nice. Sad part is that not all of Ubuntu is bad, just number of packages. Gonna go. All right, see you, Keegan. Current taxation system was supposed to end after World War II. Yeah, indeed. Think Roman numerals should be taught. Probably. They're still used. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the final. Once again, we'll be streaming on the other channel in about an hour and a half, but I want to go ahead and get something to eat. So, final call for comments. And, of course, that means, oh, boy, the kitty's getting excited. Kitty's getting excited. Oh, boy, kitty. Hey, kitty, can I see my screen? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right, buddy. Oh boy, smell that? Oh yeah. What do you think, huh? Let me see if I can get him to get his own out of there. Oh, right here. Right here. Want to grab your own out of there? Grab your own. Grab it. Right here. Grab it. Grab it. Come on. Put your paw in there and grab it. It's so cute when you put your paw in there and grab it, man. Come on. Put your paw in there. Oh, I got him to do it. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Is that good? Here you go. Ready, bud? All right, what's cuter, when he puts his paw in there and grabs it, or when he just eats it out of your hand? What's cuter? Yeah. Yeah, are they finger licking good today? Are they finger licking good? Yeah. He smells like a chemical cabinet, but at least I'd rather have him smell bad than have fleas. Right, buddy. Right, buddy. Yeah, right? Right? All right. All right, let's see. 9th grade for health class, but forgot after that. Gonna know what Super Bowl it is if they don't know Roman numerals. That's right. Go grab some pizza. Is Toss gonna be live on Friday? Should be. I had a nun teach me cursive, but she didn't like lefties. Okay. Was that link you posted about Google Free? That is Techlore. Techlore did a video, released it, I think last night. And here it is again, and it is... that's Techlore's video on going Google Free. And... you can have a look at that. So Techlore and I should be doing a live stream together tomorrow. I don't know the time yet, so you have to keep on checking. It's going to be before the news. So news is at 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. This will be before the news. I just don't know when. Paw is way cuter. All right, people are saying the paw is way cuter. What do you think of Brian Lunduke's Lunduke TV live stream? I have not seen that part out for it, but... I think what he's doing is a really cool idea, the things that I know about it, so I'll have to look into it some more. What distro? Oh, that's for pizza. Broke his foot, and I'm going back to the hospital for the next 2 days. And the paw's away. They find he's been feasting. Oh, in the past while you find he's been feasting on the corpse for a week. That's cute and true. Grandpa. Okay. Kitty's like, I'm out of here. Yep. Please do the stream in the morning. Well, it depends on when he's around, and when I'm around. So we just don't know what time it's going to be yet. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So thanks for coming along, and we will catch you later.